U.S. military seizing two more Venezuelan-linked sanctioned oil tankers, including one that appeared to be sailing under a Russian flag that had evaded U.S. blockade for about 2 weeks. Vice President J.D. Vance says this is how we control Venezuela.
It was a fake Russian oil tanker. They basically tried to pretend to be a Russian oil tanker in an effort to avoid the sanctions regime. But people always ask, how do you control Venezuela? And we're actually seeing it play out in real time. The way that we control Venezuela is we control the purse strings, we control the energy resources, and we tell the regime, you're allowed to sell the oil so long as you serve America's national interest. You're not allowed to sell it if you can't serve America's national interest. And that's how we exert incredible pressure on that country without wasting a single American life, without endangering a single American citizen.
And the Russians did not want us to take that ship. They told us not to. They told us to stop following it, and we took it anyway. Fox News contributor Dan Hoffman is a former CIA station chief and knows Moscow inside and out. I love that we said we're taking it anyway and took it. What message does that send the Russians about their role in Venezuela?
Yeah, so we drew a red line there on the blockade of Venezuelan oil, and the Trump administration enforced it. That tanker was the Bella. It was reflagged on December 24th. It has shipped since 2021, has shipped roughly 5 million barrels of oil to China, another 20 million to Iran, so they're supplying our adversaries with oil. And the message to Russia was clear. This is our hemisphere, and we're going to enforce our rules of engagement. Look, there was no negotiation over this. We made it clear. We took action. And the Russians have now lost their ally in Syria. They couldn't do anything about us bombing Iran's nuclear sites, and now they're losing their ally in Venezuela. The other message is to the Venezuelan interim government that they cannot rely on Russia and China and Iran to prop them up as they have before.
I want to get back to Venezuela. Just to finish up the Russian thing, Lindsey Graham said yesterday, next week, President Trump will sign the bipartisan sanction legislation that would sanction any country buying Russian oil. That's Brazil, that is China, and that's Turkey. Your thoughts? If that, in fact, happens, that's huge.
It is. It's a significant step forward. Look, Ukraine has been open to peace negotiations from the very beginning. All they're doing is defending their territorial integrity, their independence. It's Russia that launched this war. It's Russia that could stop it. President Trump has tried everything he could to bring Russia to the negotiating table. He's offered all sorts of incentives. And now I think clearly after the sanctioning of Rosneft and Lukoil, President Trump is following up with these more punitive sanctions, and rightly so.
Back to Venezuela. J.D. Vance expanded on what the president's big picture is, and also the president gave a 2-hour interview to the New York Times. And here's an excerpt. Only time will tell how long they're going to be there. We will rebuild it in a very profitable way, meaning Venezuela. We're going to be using oil, and we're going to be taking their oil. We're going to get oil prices down, and we're going to be giving money to Venezuela, which they desperately need. Right now, they're barely putting out 300,000 barrels a day. They should be over 1 million to 2 million. We could make them profitable and stop with the discount oil to all their evil allies.
Right. Look, that's the first step, is to break Venezuela's relationships with Iran and with China and with Russia, eliminate that malign influence from our hemisphere. And then secondly is to influence the future of the Venezuelan government. And so what I think Secretary Rubio has learned, look, I remember briefing him when he was in the Senate Intelligence Committee. We learned a lot of lessons from Iraq. We dissolved the Ba'ath Party in the army and created the conditions for a Sunni insurgency. That's not the direction we wanted to go in Venezuela. We're dealing with this with a much more measured approach, no boots on the ground, just leveraging the oil to try to impact some change inside Venezuela.
So it looks like Marco Rubio is going to meet with a Denmark official on some high level, and he's going to say, look, we're going to look to buy Greenland from you. You had it since the 1700s. It's not practical for you to be there now. We want to do this the right way with an ally. We did it with, I think the last thing we bought was Alaska. We've been trying, we had 3 separate times with administrations in our past where we tried to get Greenland in some way. Your thoughts about the need for this and the reason we need it?
Look, it is obviously in a critical place in the world overlooking the Arctic, and we've got threats from Russia and China there. The question is, how do we defend our own national security interests there, and whether we want to take over Greenland or not? Look, there's 57,000 people there, and they get a right to decide Do they want to be part of Denmark, or do they want to be part of the United States? The polls indicate they don't want to be part of the United States. And so what we want to do, however we proceed, is avoid any collateral damage to this important allied relationship with a NATO partner that mobilized after 9/11 and sent troops to Afghanistan on our behalf. I think that's going to be critical going forward, is ensuring that we have good, productive allied relationships to deal with those threats, and Denmark is one of them.
One thing is clear. They got rare earth, everything. They might have oil, that we need it. We need the base. We could expand our base. Maybe there's a deal to be done here. I think obviously the answer is yes. Dan Hoffman, thanks so much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.